What's up, E? Okay, so today we are doing a fun little review on a book that I just read. Yes, I am out of my reading slump. I am reading again. All is well in the universe. I read a book called Don't Fear the Reaper. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this book, first of all, this book was so good. You should read it. But actually, it is a sequel in a trilogy. The third book hasn't came out yet, to My Heart is a Chainsaw, one of my favorite books I read last year. I gave it 4 stars. I gave this one 4.25 to 4.5, right in between there. But both 4-star at least reads. They're so good. You have to check them out and read them. If you like horror movies, if you like slasher movies, if you like a strong female protagonist, if you like Native American authors and stories, this is going to be good for you. In this book, we meet a character named Jade who's obsessed with slashers and is our protagonist. Now, in this book, Jade is back, but there is a new killer in town. This is going to have spoilers, by the way. The new killer is called Dark Mill South, and he is ravaging the town of Proof Rock, which is the same town in the first book. Ravaging the town of Proof Rock, killing teenagers, and other people, I guess, yeah. I'm trying to think of, this is going to be, kind of a scatterbrained review because I don't have, notes or anything. But Jade is known as Jennifer in this book, but then she switches back to Jade, which I was like, oh, yay. I like Jade. I think that Jade fits the character's name well, so I was happy that she came back to be Jade. So the good parts of this book are definitely, it's much more fast-paced than the first book. The first book, so My Heart is a Chainsaw, is a little bit of a slow burn. You kind of are developing the characters, getting the story. It goes on and on and on. It's a little bit of a slow burn, and then you get, bam, action. This book starts off with action, and it's just such a good read all the way through. I wasn't bored during any of it. It was so good. There is a scene where they confront the killer in a video store, and I was like, yes, oh my gosh, I hope this series gets to be movies, because I would love to see a native woman, girl. She's in high school, but then in the second book, she's an adult. So a native woman be able to play the role of Jade and really bring her to life on screen. And I hope they get a sequel made too, because I want to see that showdown in the video store. I think that would be so cool to see on film. But anyway, so I'll read you the front. Jade returns to the rural lake town of Proof Rock the same day as convicted indigenous serial killer Dark Mill South escapes into town to complete his revenge killings in this riveting sequel to My Heart is a Chainsaw from New York Times bestselling author Stephen Graham Jones. 4 years after her tumultuous senior year, Jade Daniels is released from prison right before Christmas when her conviction is overturned. But life behind bars takes a dangerous turn as soon as she enters her hometown of Proof Rock, Idaho. Dark Mill South, seeking revenge for 38 Dakota men hanged in 1862, escapes from his prison transfer due to a blizzard just outside of Proof Rock. Dark Mill South's reunion tour began on December 12th, 2019, a Thursday. 36 hours and 20 bodies later, on Friday the 13th, it will be over. So that is what it's about. As you saw, they mentioned the Dakota 38, which is a massacre that happened to Native American people in 1862. Abraham Lincoln decided, we're just going to kill these 38 natives and I guess they, like, didn't bury them or anything. I don't know. I have to do more research on the Dakota 38, but I do know about the Dakota 38. But yeah, it doesn't really explicitly say in the book like it does on the cover that he's from the Dakota 38. They just kind of roll it around as a theory. But still, he's from the Dakota 38 massacre, and he's back to avenge people, and he's like going all over the place, like killing people, and he's never been caught, or like he is caught at one time. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, or there's some confusing parts. I don't really know. Stephen Graham Jones writes really interestingly. The only Stephen Graham Jones book I've read are My Heart is a Chainsaw and Don't Fear the Reaper. But I want to read his other books, because I love supporting a native author, you know. But I know a lot of people really like his work, and I think that I would really like to read more of his stuff too. But anyway, also Letha, the girl from the first book, who is like the final girl, Jade thinks, but I think Jade's the final girl. But I'm glad Letha's back. In My Heart is a Chainsaw, you don't really know if Letha is gonna make it. She gets her jaw ripped off. So you don't really know if she's alive or dead. I think she stays alive. I'm not really sure. It's been a while since I've read that book. But in this book, she's back. She has a plastic jaw. She has to drink smoothies every day. But she is back, and I love the character of Letha. She is now obsessed with horror movies, whereas Jade, now Jennifer, is kind of like giving up on the horror movies and is like, oh no, that's the old me. Like, the new me doesn't really care about that. But then she finds her love for slashers again, so I love that. But I was disappointed. I'm not really disappointed. I was sad for Jade. Like, if Jade was a real person, I'm really sad for her. Because at the conclusion, part of her probation terms is she can't destroy, like, state, federal, local property. Because, like, in the first book, she saves the town from forest fire, and destroys local property on the Independence Day massacre. But in the first book, she destroys property. So in this book, it's her probation that she can't destroy property. Well, there's a part at the end of the book where property gets destroyed, and she takes the blame for it. So now she has to go to prison. I'm like, no, girl, don't go to prison. But yeah, I was sad for Jade at that part. Also, I was a little confused in this book because in My Heart is a Chainsaw, there were characters called Cinnamon and Ginger. And then in this book, all in like one chapter, it is like, Cinnamon's pretending to be Ginger, and then Ginger Cinnamon pretends she's Ginger as Cinnamon, and like it just gets confusing, and it's all in one chapter, so it's like, what's going on here? So that was a little confusing in this book, the Cinnamon and Ginger twist, but I think it was still really good, and I definitely would read it again. I recommend it. Read My Heart is a Chainsaw, read Don't Fear the Reaper, and can't wait for the third book to come out, and you'll probably want to read that too. So, love this book, give it a shot. Read My Heart is a Chainsaw first, then read this one. This one's even better, so you will love it. But yeah, Don't Fear the Reaper, Stephen Graham Jones. Check it out. This just came out in February, so it's a newer book. It's a new release. But yeah, definitely check it out. So, thank you guys so much for watching my review. Sorry I am a little scatterbrained and like all over the place with my review, but I really like this book, and I think you should read it without giving too much away. But yeah, thank you so much, and like, comment, share, and subscribe on this video if you could, please. And yeah, peaceys.